Hello, all. Welcome on into your tarot spread for the week ahead. This is for the week of Monday, August 3rd, 2026. And this week I am going to use the Psychic Tarot Pocket Oracle deck by John Holland. This is one I've used before. It's what I actually return to quite often. And today felt like the day. For this one, or this week felt like the week for this one. I've got to be honest, I had a little trouble deciding which deck to use. Someone asked me recently, how many decks do I have? Actually, a few people asked me recently, how many decks do I have? And including Oracle decks. Well, I started counting and I stopped counting at 40, and I still had a small, tiny bookshelf left to go. So I'm going to say probably 60. If anyone's really interested, I can do a full count and get back to you all next week on it. All right. I do like that this deck has a lot of nice coloration in the cards. I do like a brightly colored tarot deck, I'm going to be honest. It's meant to sort of strengthen your intuition. So although there's a number on the card, the color is more in line with what the suits are here. Let's see. So again, I like to shuffle until I get jumpers because I think those are the cards that we're meant to see. This deck is interestingly laid out. It's a 65 card deck. For those who are familiar with traditional tarot, it's normally 78 cards. This deck, I haven't used it in a little while, but if I'm remembering correctly, this deck actually does not have court cards. And it does have some chakra cards, which we just got. In this. So there are some cards corresponding to chakras, and I don't believe it has court cards in the minor arcana. Also, the major arcana, we have two. These are the cards with the people on them here. We have two major arcana cards, and as you can see, they're not traditionally named. And I sort of like this. I get what John Holland is going with here with this deck. And I think in tarot, we can get sort of bogged down on what the quote unquote right meaning is or what the guidebook says. And I admit when I first started learning, I was very much into that too. And I still will look in the guidebooks because I like to see what the creator of the deck has to say about the card. And so that is always interesting for me. Let's see, can we see this card? All right, I'm going to move everybody down a little bit here so we can see everything a little better. All right, here we go. So I feel like in the past few weeks, we have had a lot of cards, that have been giving us the opportunity for some internal reflection, that have given us the opportunity to really go deeper into ourselves and maybe rework some thought patterns or figure out some thought patterns, untangle some thought patterns. And here we have for our theme of the week, or our energy of the week, is the Eight of Swords. And the key words here are trapped in fear. And to me, this is actually what Eight of Swords is. Eight of Swords to me is very much those thought processes that keep us stuck, those beliefs about ourselves that keep us stuck. Swords are the suit of air, and they govern our mind, our thoughts, our focus, our decision making, and anything that affects the mind. Can be anxiety, nightmares, things like that. But for the eight of swords, we're afraid. we're afraid or we've been listening too long to those voices in our own head. Um, and this week, let's look for some ways to get out. Let's look for some ways to shift our energy, to move beyond that fear, to really get to a point where we feel comfortable with ourselves, where we feel comfortable moving through life, where we feel comfortable releasing that fear and that anxiety. Because often that fear and anxiety is not grounded in, a truth. It's not grounded in a rational thought, and it's keeping us stuck. And so, a way to examine this is to think, again, much like our devil card last week, how is this keeping me stuck? Is this true? Maybe just ask, is this true? And if it is true, find a way to deal with it, find a way to shift the energy, find a way to work through it, even if it is with the help of someone else, trained therapist, or someone like that, or even a friend who's very good at listening. But let's work through this. Let's figure out what is keeping us trapped. What are we afraid of that's keeping us trapped? Is it true? If it is, how can we work through it? If it's not true, let's move beyond it. Let's move beyond it. So that is our card for the week, our energy of the week. For Monday, we have the Love Begins card, and this is akin to the Ace of Cups in a traditional tarot, and this is a card of, again, a beginning of a new emotional connection, beginning of a new soul connection, beginning of maybe a new love romantically, or maybe just love in all forms. I like to use the example of maybe you're gonna adopt a pet. But you might also be beginning a passion project. So you're beginning with a love for what you're doing, a love of creation, a love of, bringing something into the world. And these are all amazing energies to lean into for Monday, for making those new connections, for allowing those new beginnings of love, for allowing those new connections, for allowing yourself to lead with your heart and see where that goes for you. It's going to go a long way. Love is going to help you get through this fear. I believe that for you. I believe that for me too. For Tuesday, we have the Ace of Swords, which Mr. Holland, or John Holland, I should say, can't presume, won't presume. John Holland is calling triumphant success. And I love this. I love that we have two aces to start. We have the ace of emotions, the ace of water, the ace of the feelings, the heart, if you will. And we have the ace of the head, the ace of that thought, the ace of air, those thoughts, those rational decisions, the ability to make those rational decisions clearly. And Ace of Swords is gonna, that ability to decide, to act, to move, to do, is going to help us to succeed, is going to bring us to that success and that victory, our sword held high here in victory. And I like this actually in the beginning of the week paired with our other ace, our Ace of Cups, because that shows a real balance, a grounding between the head and the heart, or the head and the heart. And that is a good balance to have if we're beginning something new, especially if we've released this fear, if we're working through this fear and starting a new journey, starting a new phase, whatever this might be. If we balance our head and our heart, we're more than half the way there. We're going to be so grounded and in tune and really working with the energy of this in such a beautiful way, whatever that is for you. For Wednesday, we have the Nine of Cups, and I love this card, Fulfillment of Wishes. I initially thought he was standing on a peach, something about the leaf and the color and shape of this. And I would love if this man was standing on a big old juicy peach, because that would be a fulfillment of a wish indeed. But no. I think it's just a stone or something here between the waterfalls, and there just happens to be this beautiful leaf in the beginning. But nine of cups really is, it's very commonly called the wish come true card. And I feel like it really is a card of no getting very clear on what you want, getting clear on how you want that to manifest in your life. I was just reading a book called Beyond Wanting by Matt Cook, and it's essentially wanting is just the start of it. So you need to know what you want initially, but then how are you going to get there? How are these wishes going to come true? What part do you have in making those wishes come true? Maybe if it's the case of you want a new job, part of making the wish come true would be to start looking for other jobs or to start researching, a new career or a new field that you might want to go into, maybe taking some classes. These are all ways we can help make our wishes real. Because we need to work with the energy, if that makes sense. Like we need to do our part to bring our wishes to reality. Otherwise, we're just sort of sitting there hoping and wishing and praying and hoping, as the song goes. And so for Wednesday, let's get clear on what we want, why we want it, and how we're going to get there. And those wishes will come true. I promise you, at least one of them, at least one of these wishes will come true. As long as we show up, as long as we're present. And for Thursday, we have the Transformation card, as it's called in this deck. And this would traditionally be the Death card in a regular tarot, or a more traditional tarot deck. But I love in this deck that Death is called Transformation. Because for folks who are not familiar with tarot, Death can be one of those cards where they're like, ooh, it's scary. In a lot of movies, like, if they show a tarot reader in a movie, they like to have the tarot reader deal out the Death card. And really, the ultimate sense or meaning of the Death card in tarot is a transformation. It's letting something go. It's letting something fall by the wayside in order to begin again. And I love the illustration here, that you can see this dark sort of mask, this big dark mask, as she's dropping that. She's letting that go. And in turn, she's rising as this beautiful butterfly. And so once we deal with this fear, once we let go of where we're trapped, once we start to move beyond that, we are going to experience this beautiful transformation, this letting go, this letting something die, if you will, in order to become this beautiful, best version of ourselves. This version of ourselves that doesn't have to play small. This version of ourselves that is making these wishes come true, or working with the universe or that universal energy to make these wishes come true. And they will. And we will, at the end of it, end up a better version of ourselves. Maybe the best version of ourselves. Hey, let's dream big, Let's dream big, everybody. But knowing that we are beginning something new, so that is part of transformation too, is we have to start new sometimes. We have to start fresh sometimes. But the first step here for this week is really working to release this fear, to deal with this fear, to deal with those negative self-thoughts, those negative talks, those negative beliefs we have, and really work to release them so we can transform into this beautiful butterfly. And for Friday, we have one of those chakra cards I was talking about. Luckily, I'm relatively familiar with chakras. So I think I can do this without looking in the guidebook, although I'm sure John Holland says some lovely things about the base chakra in the guidebook. The base chakra is also called the root chakra. It's in your body. If you had to pick like sort of the energy center of where it is, it's kind of below your tailbone, basically at the tailbone or below your tailbone. It's the color red is associated with it. And this is a very, very grounded energy, very sort of almost primal kind of energy. And much like the roots of a tree, we root down in this energy to keep us stable, to keep that connection to the earth, to keep ourselves grounded. I think this energy works very well with our balancing of heart and head, or head and heart energies here, to stay grounded in what's real, what's true, what we can feel, what we can sense, is going to help us with this fear. These thoughts that are in our head, staying grounded, staying rooted in our base chakra is going to help with that as well. And it's going to keep us tethered to who we are. When we're going through this transformation, we're going to stay tethered to that true core of who we are. And so I like this for Friday. In a time where we're beginning again, we're transforming. We might be releasing these old thoughts. Hopefully we're releasing these old thoughts. I would love that for you this week, or at least to start, because I know that can take some time. You can find everything from base chakra meditations to yoga practices and all kinds of fun exercises on YouTube. If you have any interest in working with chakras, please go at your own pace and ability level if you're trying some of the yoga out there. But if you feel called to work with this energy center, there are some great ways to do it, available for free. And I encourage that if you feel into that. You could also try journaling and just maybe ask yourself, what grounds me? How do I stay grounded? How can my roots help me? And see where it goes. Try some free writing, if you will, with that. And that is our card for Friday. For Saturday, we have the card here, number 2 card in the Major Arcana, which is normally the Magician, but in this deck it is Intuition. And Intuition, Magician, love it. It rhymes. But really what I like about this is that in order to make that magic, and could be the magic of fulfilling these wishes for ourselves, but in order to make that magic happen, we really do have to be in tune with our inner selves. We have to be in tune with those wants, those needs, those desires, as well as the knowledge of how we're going to make those desires real. Our intuitive sense as to who we really are, what we really want, will help us again overcome this fear. Our intuitive sense of who we are and what we really want is going to help us with this transformation. And the Magician, I think, also will carry a message of it's already all inside of you. You already have all of that. You already have everything you need. You already have all of the tools, both the physical and the emotional and mental. So I do feel like the Intuition, the Magician, for me can also be about taking what you have, taking what you know inside, and making it real. I'm often reminded of that Billy Ocean song, "Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car." We could debate the appropriateness of that title, but that's quite literally what comes up for me. I'm probably telling my age there, but like that's kind of the Magician for me, is like, you've got the dream, you've got the idea, you've got the intuition, and now you're going to make it real. Now you're going to manifest that through your own efforts. So again, we have some manifesting through our own efforts here with the Magician. Whatever it is going to land you in something wonderful. I like the Magician card quite a bit, actually. And then we have, here we have card 11, which is called Balance here. You know what, I'm actually going to check this one. Is it Temperance? This is Temperance, right? It's got to be Temperance with a card like Balance, or with a name like Balance. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out here. Oh, no, this is Justice. Okay, rock on. Fair enough. Glad I looked. I was going to say, I didn't think it was Temperance. So we're ending the week on Sunday with Justice. And hey, justice is, the scale's balanced. We're looking for truth. We're looking for what's fair, what's right. But I think this is more of an internal balance we're looking for, especially with our trapped in fear and all of these cards, especially with our root chakra as well, or our base chakra here. We're looking for balance within ourselves. We're looking for that balance of our head and our heart. We're looking for the balance of recognizing these fears, acknowledging these fears, finding out the cause or source of these fears, and dealing with it so that we can also have this transformation. And using our intuition and our skills, rooting down, being grounded and using our intuition. So it really, I think, this is more of this perfect balance internally for ourselves, both the head, the heart, our physical bodies, all of that in a balance in order to ease this release of fear and this transformation. And really considering rooting down into what's true for us. Because justice to me is about a truth. It's about the truth of what we value, the truth of what guides us, the truth of what pushes us, I want to say eggs us on, but pushes us to be that next best version. And I think that's really what we've got here for Sunday. So as always, folks, thank you so much for joining me. I had, bless, many of you watched this last week. So many, more than more than I've ever had somebody watch one of these videos. So thank you to everyone who has watched. If you like what you're hearing, if you made it this far and you like what you've seen, like what you've heard, liked my style, please feel free to subscribe. And as always, I do personal readings for folks. If you would like one, you can go to the link in my profile. It will be recorded as a video just like this. And it will be sent to you as a private video, I should say. Like, it's not going to be posted for everyone to see, but it'll be sent by a private video link for you, so you can watch it as many times as you would like. Take notes, journal. I will also send you a screenshot, or I'm sorry, not a screenshot, but an actual photo of the card reading that we did. And I enjoy reading for people. I enjoy connecting with people personally to give them some insight and some help with situations they might be dealing with in life. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to check out the link in my profile. And until then, I will see you next week. Have a great week, everybody.